Happy July 5th. I hope you guys had a wonderful July 4th. I apologize for my head. I'm so sorry. I'm just not feeling it lately. Normally when I'm like this, I would put a hat on my head, but I cannot wear a hat to work. So, what you see is what you get at the moment. Anyway, I wanted to just take a moment. I was going through some things. Again, I'm always going through stuff. And I came across something that I copied and laminated. Well, I want to say back in 2018. I usually date everything, but because I didn't write it, I didn't date it. Okay, but if I'm not mistaken, this was back in 2018, and it's something from T.D. Jakes. And the reason why I wanted to just take a moment to read it to you was because it kind of, in all honesty, it kind of put confirmation on what I'm trying to do. I always say to you guys, think about it, pray about it, let it go. And I say that because whatever's going on around you, whatever's going on in your life, whatever you're feeling at that moment that's negative, that's just making you feel some kind of way that you don't like or you're uncomfortable with, I say stop, catch your breath, think about it. Think about what that is. Pray about it. And then let it go. Let it go, meaning give it to God, turn it over to Him, let Him do what you cannot do. Okay? Let Him work. Trust Him to fix it, to help you fix it, to guide you in the right direction. That is so much easier said than done. I will be the first to say that. Like, I will be the first to tell you that. Like, I will never come on here and talk to you about something that I have not experienced, or um, it's something that I'm currently experiencing, or someone that I know have experienced it and they are okay with me talking about it. Um, so trust me when I talk about some things, it's I'm not just making it up. I'm not just talking to be talking. And so when I read this, I was like, wait a minute, this is confirmation, because I didn't even ever remember. I didn't remember reading this, and for me, it's powerful. Sometimes things come across your path, and for that moment, and it's there because it's meant for you to see it, and you may not necessarily get out of it what you're supposed to get out at that moment, but when it's time for you to get it, you will. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So anyway, this is by T.D. Jakes, and it's called Let It Go. Isn't it ironic? Because I always say, think about it, pray about it, let it go. And then he has this that says, let it go. Okay? There are people who can walk away from you. And hear me when I tell you this. When people can walk away from you, let them walk. Okay? I don't want you to try to talk another person into staying with you, loving you, calling you, caring about you, coming to see you, staying attached to you. I mean, hang up the phone. When people can walk away from you, let them walk. Your destiny is never tied to anybody that left. People leave you because they are not joined to you. Okay? And if they're not joined to you, you cannot make them stay. Let them go. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means that their part in your story is over. Okay? You've got to know when people's part in your story is over, so that you don't keep trying to raise the dead. You've got to know when it's dead. You've got to know when it's over. Let me tell you something. I've got the gift of goodbye. That was so funny to me. He says, I have the gift of goodbye. It's a 10th spiritual gift. I believe in goodbye. Okay? It's not that I'm hateful. It's that I'm faithful. And I know whatever God means for me to have, He'll give it to me. That right there is so awesome to me. It is so hard to say goodbye sometimes, especially when we are so content. We might be so content or afraid. Sometimes we take content, we misunderstand afraid for contentment. And it's not that you're content, you're afraid to move forward. So in your mind, you're saying, oh, I'm content with this situation. But it may not necessarily mean for you to be content, you know? And we have to pray and study so that we can understand what it is that God means for us to do, so that we can hear him when he speaks. Because we don't necessarily understand when we're not feeding our spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because that spirit is what is that communication. It's what attaches you. And if you don't feed it, it dies. It's not strong, it's weak. You know what I'm saying? If you have two dogs and you feed one and starve the other, the one that starves normally dies. It's weak. It has no strength. It cannot fight. You know what I'm saying? Same way with your flesh and your spirit. Okay? It takes too much sweat. I don't need it. Stop begging people to stay. Let them go. If you're holding on to something that doesn't belong to you and was never intended for your life, then you need to let it go. If you're holding on to past hurt, past pains, let it go. If someone can't treat you right, love you back, and see your worth, let it go. If someone has angered you, let it go. If you're holding on to some thoughts of evil and revenge, let it go. If you're involved in a wrong relationship or addiction, let it go. If you're holding on to a job that no longer meets your needs or talents, let it go. If you have a bad attitude, let it go. If you keep judging others to make yourself feel better, let it go. And there are so many of us out there that judge that, and we should not. We don't have the right to judge, first of all. Nobody's perfect. If you're stuck in the past and God is trying to take you to a new level in him, let it go. Seriously. If God is trying to move you up a step or two, how is he going to do that if you can't get off the last step? You know what I'm saying? Let it go. Let it go. Again, if you're stuck in the past and God is trying to take you to a new level in him, let it go. If you're struggling with the healing of a broken relationship, let it go. If you keep trying to help someone who won't even try to help themselves, let it go. If you are feeling depressed and stressed, let it go. If there's a particular situation that you're so used to handling yourself, and God is saying, take your hands off of it, you need to. God says, let it go. How can I help you if you won't let it go? Let it go. Let the past be the past. Forget the former things. God is doing a new thing. So this says God is doing a new thing for 2011. So this was actually 2010, okay, that he wrote this. And I honestly think, I want to say 2018 that I came across it. So, I mean, this is years later, you know, and it's like, now I'm saying let it go. God is telling me something, okay? Get right or get left. Think about it. And then let it go. Seriously. The battle is the Lord's, okay? I have to say, you know, I really appreciated running across this and rereading this. I really did. It must have meant a lot to me when I first ran across it for me to laminate it and keep it, you know, and I'm glad I did, you know, because again, it's confirmation to me that even though things are not moving according to the way I would like them to move, I do believe they're moving according to what God has in store for me. And what I mean by that is God is waiting on me to catch up, to get into that place where he needs me to be in order for me to move on to the next level. Just because we love and trust God, it don't mean we're not going to go through things. As a matter of fact, and I heard someone say this earlier today, we may even go through more because he's using us, you know what I'm saying, to maybe help someone else. He's, you know, and not only that, in order for us to be able to speak about something, we have to have gone through something, believe it or not. Like, I can't sit and tell you how to live a life without debt free. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have a debt free life, if I've had struggles and problems financially or whatever, and I'm overcoming them, I can tell you about that. I can tell you about my struggles, and I can tell you about how I overcame them. And in doing that, it may help someone else, you know. Um, so I think God uses us sometimes in the strangest ways, but effective, you know, quite effective. And I just wanted to take a moment and share that. And I wanted to say to you guys that what I want to try to start doing is every time I put out a video, I think somewhere in the video I will read a chapter or verse, or I will um, put it somewhere on the screen, because I think it's important that we every day we read. You know what I'm saying? Every day that we seek God. You know what I'm saying? To thank Him every day. And so today, before what I'm going to do, I know I'm babbling right now because I have a lot going on in my head. Unfortunately, that's kind of always with me. I wanted to take a minute and read the Lord's Prayer, okay? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Now, I always add to that. It says forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. But I always add to it, and I always say, um, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. I don't know why I say that, but I do. I do. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And I just think it's so important that we say the Lord's Prayer every day. I really do. Like, every day we wake up, every day I wake up, I try to say the Lord's Prayer. Even when I'm at work and I'm sitting there and it's the daylight, I look around, this daylight, I say the Lord's Prayer, because normally I'm getting up at that time. I will say the Lord's Prayer, you know, because God is awesome and He's with us in everything that we do, you know, and I just have to learn to acknowledge Him more and to give Him thanks and praise more, because wow, He is amazing and He's constantly proving that to me. You know, for example, I went to get the plates for my car, and then on my way home, the car just started smoking under the hood, like just smoking. And I immediately pulled over. You know, anytime I smell something or think something wrong, and sometimes it's my head, but this time I saw smoke. You know, wasn't no joke, no doubts about it. It was smoke. I pulled over. I popped the hood. The car was pretty hot. Um, and my first instinct, based off the past, was oil. You know, that's my first thought. So I called my mechanic. He was like, no, but you had oil in your car. Your liquids are fine. Your fluids are fine. But sure enough, when I checked the oil, it was freaking bone dry. Now, that does not mean my mechanic does not know what he's talking about or doing. He's an awesome mechanic. What it means is either the car is burning oil really fast, or there was a leak. There's a leak. And it also could mean when we went before buying the car, you know how you test the fluids, this, that, and other. There may have been just enough fluid in there, enough oil in there to say that there's oil in the car. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to sell it. You know, so anyway, long story short, that's exactly what it was. I'm so grateful to God that um, I was able to get to it. You know, that it started smoking, and I had enough sense to pull over, not to continue to drive it, and get oil, you know, to feed the car. You know, if you don't feed something, remember I said, even something that simple, if you don't feed it, it dies. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take care of it, it can't take care of you. So long story short, I did go, and I actually did drive the car maybe another 5 minutes, down another block to get to the Home Depot. And I went in and I bought the really big thing of oil. And I put it in the car. I didn't put all of it because, of course, you can't put too much because that's just as bad as not having enough. And my dad had came out by that time and looked under to make sure there was nothing leaking, which it was not. And so I came home and the car rides beautiful. The only thing is now that since that has happened, prior to this happening, my air conditioning was fine. Now it won't. It's hot. It's hot. So, and when I say hot, I mean hot. Oh, you know. So it kind of makes me not want to. Like, I love the heat to some extent, especially when I was younger. Man, heat was my thing. But now that I've gotten older, you know, your body changes. The heat be messing with me, and so. I'm glad that, you know, the sun has gone down, so when I go to work, I can let the windows down and breathe, get some fresh air. But anyway, guys, I'm babbling right now. I just wanted to say that, you know, God is awesome. Even in the smallest things, He's awesome. And I had to thank Him for that because He didn't have to do it, but He did. You know, I could have been right back in that same situation where I am out without a car again, you know, and it's like, dang, you know, let me catch up, you know. So you guys remember to just remember to trust God, and remember that none of us are perfect. Remember that it's easier said than done, especially when you're going through things, and I mean it's just knocking you, it's taking you, it's taking you through, and you're tired and you're dragging, and you're like, but I trust God, but I trust God. Keep trusting Him. Just keep trusting Him. Keep trusting Him. Sometimes He'll come and it'll be at the very last minute. You'll be like, oh Lord, you know. But He hears you, He sees you, and He loves you. And I just wanted to take a moment to say these things to whoever's listening. I don't know who might need it, who might be in need of that. You know what I'm saying? So I needed to share that with you. This is a pretty long video, so I am going to end it here. Plus, I need to finish getting ready to go to work. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. I truly appreciate it. And I hope all my angels, I hope you all have an amazing Friday evening. And again, if you're not having a good day so far, if you're not having a good night, if you're not having a good moment, stop, think about why, pray about it, and let it go, and remember to trust God. Talk to you guys later. Bye now. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.